Hello.
Hello. Hi, gazers.
Hi, gazers. How are we all doing? We are the Problematic Gaze.
Indeed, we are. I hope everybody's well. Each week, we take a piece of pop culture from the last 60 years and examine it through the problematic lens, asking ourselves the question, could you get away with it today? And if not, why not?
And before we take a deep dive into our chosen topic, we'll take a look at the news events of the day, we'll take a look at the TV landscape, and we'll also look at the pop charts in the UK, just to put our chosen topic into context.
Indeed, we will.
Got through that in one take.
Very good.
Yeah, a round of applause.
Very good.
Getting kind of used to this now, aren't we?
Almost after a year, you'd think, but
I know.
you know.
I know.
It's incredible.
So to people watching us on YouTube, we're kind of new to YouTube, aren't we?
We are.
But our faithful podcast, our gazers, our listeners, have been with us for about a year.
Yes.
So we thought we'd plunge kicking and screaming into the 21st century, into 2025, and pop ourselves on YouTube.
Yes.
So we hope you enjoy.
We're stepping into the visual age.
Uh,
Yeah. And we are celebrating, we are looking at something this week.
Yeah. Now, stay with us, gazers, because we're going to have to kind of wade through a little bit of treacle today.
Yes,
we are looking. Tell us what we're looking at.
We are looking at an abomination of a piece of television from 1987 called the Grand Knockout Tournament, unofficially called It's a Royal Knockout. Now, this was like a fever dream.
Yeah, from 1987. Did you say
1987.
that? Yes, 1987.
Yeah. In which the TV show It's a Knockout, which is a bit like Sports Day
Yes.
with big rubber costumes.
Yeah, it was kind of based on a French TV show, Jeux sans frontières,
Yes,
wasn't it?
exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they've got an American equivalent.
No. But Prince Edward, heir and line to the throne, whichever number he is, just thought it would be a good idea to get a whole heap of celebrities, of which there are some jaw-dropping inclusions of who they've actually got on this show.
So, yeah, it goes a huge range of famous sports people of the time of 1987 to kind of local UK minor celebrities through to kind of huge celebrities, singers,
Hollywood
etc.
A-listers.
Yes.
I mean, it's just astonishing. We'll get to that. And that's it.
Yes.
With the inclusion of 4 members of the royal family,
Yeah.
dressed up in this kind of medieval pageant. Yeah. It was just absolutely
Yeah,
bonkers.
I mean, let's just elaborate on It's a Knockout. So it was a famous TV show where members of the public were split into 2 teams.
I think there's 4 usually. There's like quite a big...
yeah. So 2 to 4 teams. And they had to do a series of just silly tasks. It was all kind of an open outdoor event, dress up in giant foam characters and run down a field or, climb a greasy pole. So it was all kind of silly.
Yes. A lot of water involved,
Lots of
usually
water.
sponges, people getting wet,
Yeah.
Huge on TV.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, it was massive.
Yeah.
And made famous for the presenter who used to be called the legendary Stuart Hall and now is
Yeah.
just...
We'll talk about
We'll talk
him.
about him. We'll talk
Yeah.
about him. What's your relationship with It's a Royal Knockout?
I didn't see it at the time because I think I was living in the Middle East at the time.
Wow, okay, fine. Okay, so the first time you saw it was last night when we watched it.
Yeah, but I was aware of it and I had seen clips of it.
Right.
I was aware of its notoriety, shall we say.
Yes.
What about you?
I watched it and I loved it. I couldn't see what the fuss was, but I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought the royals came across really well, but I was a proper royalist in 1987. It was the way I was brought up.
Yeah.
Couldn't help it.
Where we were all brought up.
Yeah.
Street parties for
Yes.
Charles and Di's wedding.
Exactly.
Lots of Union Jack flag waving
Yes.
things,
Yes.
because the Queen was just held in such high esteem, wasn't she?
I remember we trekked down to the bottom of the road by the A1 because Prince Charles was due to be driving past in his car. Just to drive by. Wasn't even anything. There was about 50 people waiting for a wave from Prince Charles. I mean, that's how...
Did he wave?
He did wave, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, he did.
Good.
So, yeah, I loved this. And at the time, couldn't appreciate just how shit it is. And And last night obviously was the first time. Now we will say that the version that's on YouTube is edited. Thank God, because the original is 2 hours long and the one on YouTube is 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If you so desire to pull up a chair, pour a very stiff drink and watch 1 hour 20-minute Fever Dream from 1987, then do, because it is.
Well, we'll put a link in the show notes.
Yes,
it's a kind of swings and roundabouts affair, wasn't it?
Yes.
We'll talk more about it later.
Yeah.
But before that, we've had some messages from our gazers.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Yes.
Yeah, we have. We've got Ben from Cardiff. Hello, Ben.
Hello, Ben.
Ben was listening to our show on The Young Ones and has got in touch. He says he's a little bit older than us. An older listener.
Oh, like the other men.
And was a big fan of The Young Ones because they represented a kind of anarchic liberation, the like of which we'd not seen on TV before. And they really spoke to us as a generation of energy and fighting against Thatcher and stuff. So keep doing good work. He loves listening every week and looks forward to each episode.
Oh, fantastic.
That's nice.
Thank you, Ben.
Thanks,
yes.
Ben. Thank you, Ben.
Our last episode on The Young Ones, no, it wasn't the last one, it was the one before that.
Yeah.
Went down really well,
Yes, it
actually.
did. Yeah, it did.
Okay, so I've had a message on Instagram from Nick in Lincoln.
Hello, Nick.
A few episodes before we went live on, not live, before we went on YouTube, we did an episode, and I can't remember which one it was, but we talked about
I think it was Cabaret.
Maybe, yeah. So we were kind of talking about, when you start off in life and you're quite altruistic, you've got, everything's wonderful and you've got quite a liberal view of the world, live and let live. And then you see some people who turn quite right-wing as they get older. I mean, we are early 50s now, aren't we? We've just turned 50, more or less. So we were wondering about the time when it actually happens, because it seems to does it happen to everybody, or what happens? What happened to us? Keep each other grounded, darling.
Yes, we do.
Yes, but then Nick from Lincoln suggested. Now, for our international viewers, Lincoln is quite famous in this country for the recent election of certain MPs and mayors and local councillors, etc.
From Reform
UK.
The right-wing populist party.
I'm kind of preempting Nick here, but he says, to answer the question, when do people become more bitter? It's usually just before they vote in a Reform council and mayor. In other words, around about 70.
Right.
Champagne popping emoji. So yes, they've just elected a local mayor in Lincolnshire, Dame Andrea Jenkins, and for people who follow British politics, she was the one who very famously, when she was in the Conservative Party, there's a very famous photo of her flicking the V's at the public as she entered into Downing Street. So yeah, thanks for that, Nick. So we've got another 20 years before we flip to the dark side, according to Nick.
Another 20 years, that's all right.
Okay, so with that in mind, talking about current affairs, etc., and news, shall we cross over to the news desk to find out what was going on in 1987?
Let's do it.
Here we are. Phew. So we've moved to the other side of the studio.
PG1.
And we're going to talk about the news events of 1987.
Now, we have looked at the UK before in our episodes on the Golden Girls and Rita Sue and Bob too, so this has got a little international flavour for us.
Okay,
would you like to kick off?
Yes, I will. So on January the 20th, Terry Waite, the special envoy of the Archbishop of Canterbury in Lebanon, is kidnapped in Beirut. He'll be released 4 years later, November 1991. So, yeah, do you remember Terry Waite?
Yeah, it was a big thing, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And I remember being on Wogan when he got released and talking about how he'd kept himself just from going insane. You can imagine that, can you?
It's just being held captive for 4 years.
In a room on your own with just darkness, I think he was.
And your own thoughts.
Yeah. Well, there's that experiment that was done recently that deprived people of their smartphone, and you had the option that you could sit for 10 minutes with your own thoughts, or they could give you an electric shock. And the vast majority of people chose to be electric shocked rather than just sit with their own thoughts.
After 10 minutes?
After 10 minutes. I mean, Terry Waite will just walk in and go, come on, get a fucking grip.
Tried 4 years.
Yeah.
We are kind of married to our phones these
Yeah,
days, hence
yeah.
we're recording on them now.
Yes.
But I sat for 10 minutes in quiet contemplation this morning when I was doing my yoga. Health, 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 darling.
God, here we go. What have you done the last 4 days?
I just got pissed.
Yeah, thank you. On March the 1st, the first Starbucks outside of the US is opened in Vancouver, Canada. Good.
Good. Okay, on March the 20th, AZT, or AZT, as it's more commonly known, is approved by the United States Food and Drug Administration for the use in the treatment of HIV and AIDS.
Hooray.
Hooray, hooray. Positive move forward there.
Positive move forward.
Yeah, although obviously it was quite, there's been research.
Oh.
It was a hideous drug, wasn't it,
Yes,
to have
yeah,
to take.
yeah.
On October the 7th, the US Department of Education announces new guidelines for teaching about AIDS in public schools.
Hooray.
Hooray! That's
Hooray.
good, isn't it?
That's really good.
Emphasising the importance of abstinence and appropriate moral and social conduct.
Can't help themselves, can they?
So their advice was for all these youngsters...
Be straight and Christian.
and keep it in your pants.
Yes. Yeah.
That's going to work, isn't it?
Always. Always. On March the 24th, Michael Eisner, CEO of the Walt Disney Company, and French Prime Minister Jacques Chirac signed an agreement to construct the 4,800 acres Euro Disney Resort. Have you ever been?
No.
No, I haven't either. Can't think of anything worse.
I've been to Disneyland in California.
Right.
When I was very young.
Right.
It doesn't appeal to me. I'd rather do a Universal or something.
Me
or
too, yeah.
A Thought Park.
Yes. Yes.
I can't imagine just wanting to walk around a park in Mickey Mouse ears.
No.
It's for the kiddies anyway, isn't it?
I'd do Chessington over Disneyland. Do you know what I mean? I wonder if Flamingo Land's still going. Anyway.
Okay, so on the April the 19th, the Simpsons cartoon appears for the first time as a series of shorts on the Tracy Ullman Show.
I remember watching that.
Do you?
Yeah, I remember watching, because I used to like the Tracy Ullman
Yeah.
show. Because obviously she'd gone to the
She
States,
was
hadn't
huge,
she?
wasn't
Yeah,
she?
she's massive.
Yeah.
And I remember watching this weird little cartoon. I used to really look forward to it, each episode. On May the 11th, Klaus Barbie goes on trial in Lyon for war crimes committed during World War II. And in July, on the 4th, a court will sentence him to life imprisonment for crimes against humanity. This is the former Gestapo boss, of
He
course.
was just
And is
the barber of Lyon.
Yes.
The butcher of Lyon.
Yes,
Sorry,
yeah,
not
the
the
barber.
barber.
That's the barber of Seville. Something completely
No,
different.
sorry, I'm not being flippant,
No.
but he was a hideous, hideous man that tortured so
yeah.
many poor souls.
And isn't it just how again, we've talked before about how the war is still a living, breathing thing at this point, isn't it? Which still has huge influence over British
Absolutely.
culture.
So what are we? We're 42...
43,
Yeah,
42
43.
years, yeah.
Yeah, so that meant a huge amount to a lot of people.
Mm.
Okay, so on June the 12th, during a visit to Berlin, US President Ronald Reagan challenges Soviet Secretary General Mikhail Gorbachev to tear down that wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was the start of it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2 years later,
Yeah.
did come down.
David Hasselhoff.
Oh, David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
We've got to thank for that.
We
Thanks,
have to
David.
thank for that, yeah. On July the 11th, the world population is estimated to have reached 5 billion people, according to the United Nations. So in 40 years, we've gained another 3 billion, so it's 8 billion today.
Wow.
It's unsustainable, isn't it? We're fucked.
We're fucked.
Run for the hills, everybody.
We are, but I mean, just come to listen to our podcast
Yeah,
and watch us, just
yeah.
for a bit of light relief.
Do you know, I like to think if the apocalypse is coming, people will
Yeah.
download our back catalogue as the thing
Yeah.
they've got in their bomb shelters or,
Can you imagine?
yeah, wherever.
Well,
I like to think maybe post-apocalypse it's our voices which are uniting the world.
if they can charge their phones.
Oh yeah, we're fucked.
Yeah, we're fucked. We're fucked. Okay, so on the July... So I just had to stop and reboot myself there.
Did you?
I just went a bit...
Switch yourself off. Switch it back on. Switch
Yeah.
it back on.
On July the 27th, salvage dives begin on the wreck of the Titanic. Survivor Eva Hart likens the salvage teams to vultures.
It's not wrong, is she?
Oh, is she? I mean,
What
there's
are they
this
going
continuing
for?
fascination with the Titanic, isn't there? I
Weird,
mean,
isn't it?
I'm one of them. I love all things Titanic.
Right.
Yeah.
I think because how long had it been since they discovered the wreck? Was that in the 70s? I can't remember. But
sure.
I mean, the images you got were so kind of amazing, weren't they? To think that's at the bottom of this incredibly deep ocean.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the film Raise the Titanic?
No, it's one of those kind of Irwin Allen 70s ones.
A little bit shit. It hasn't got Kate Winslet in it.
Doesn't surprise me.
No.
Paint me like one of your French girls, Dave.
Oh, hang on.
On August the 31st, Michael Jackson released his album Bad, which is his first studio album since Thriller, which is the best-selling album of all time. Not a bad thing to have on your CV, is it?
No.
This album will produce 5 number-1 singles in the US, a record which has still, to this day, not been broken. I mean, God, height of his powers, isn't he?
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen the video to Bad?
Is that the one where he's like...
With an underground car park.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like fighting and looking
Gangs.
really tough.
Yeah. I'm getting it confused with Beat It.
Yeah. I mean, I like Smooth Criminal,
Yeah.
but that's about it. I mean,
Yeah.
let's
just...
deviate away from Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a really strange one. So on November the 22nd, 1987, we have what's called the Max Headroom Broadcast Signal Intrusion. Sounds very strange. So unknown perpetrators hijacked the signal of WGN TV for about 20 seconds and WTTW TV for about 90 seconds and display a video of a man in a Max Headroom mask.
Yes, it's really weird. You can see it on YouTube, and no one's ever been able to explain how they've done it.
So it's hackers, obviously.
Hackers,
It's kind of an early version
80s
of hackers.
yeah. And what's kind of coincidental from my point of view is that at the time being broadcast, it's like a 1977 Doctor Who episode
Right.
that gets broken into by the signal. It's a bit creepy, and no one has ever been able to explain how it was done, who did it, how it happened. But it's it's on YouTube.
We should post it on our TikToks.
Yeah, we will.
And Instagrams.
We will on our socials, which you can like, follow, and subscribe to, by the way. Thank you.
At Podcast Gaze.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
So
well, that's it for the news.
Yeah, that's the news.
Yes.
Yeah. Should we have a look at what was in telly
Yes.
in 1987?
Let's do it.
Should we have a look at what the top 10 TV shows of 1987 were?
Let's do it. Okay, so this is in the UK. Top 10 TV shows of 1987. So at number 10 is the film The Love Bug with 16.5 million viewers. That's on ITV. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Is that a Herbie one?
Yeah.
Herbie.
Yeah. We've talked about Herbie before.
Yeah,
Both of us scarred that it wasn't a talking car.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just a car. Number 9, Don't Wait Up. That sitcom with Nigel Havers, I believe, and lovely Simon Williams from the
Oh,
Archers.
yes. Number 8, Challenge Annika, Children in Need. That's 17.2 million viewers. So Challenge Annika, I didn't realise that was as early as 1987.
Yeah, well, she finished Treasure Hunt in 85, I think. Yeah. And this was the one where she went to the Romanian orphanage. I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, Annika's a huge star at this point, as we will see.
Yes.
Number 7, It'll Be All Right on Christmas Night, another Dennis Norden blooper compilation clip.
Thank God for VHSs, that's what I'll say, VCRs.
Well,
So
yeah.
you could record it and fast forward all the boring.
Dennis Norden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
Number 6, Wish You Were Here. Was the travel show with Judith Chalmers.
Isn't that so weird? That's the 6th highest rated show on British TV in 1981, a holiday show.
Yes, that's 2 episodes combined. And
Yeah.
got a combined viewing of 18.5 million.
Number 5 is the travesty we're looking at. The Grand Royal Knockout Tournament was watched by 18.35 million viewers in the UK when it was broadcast.
Just nuts. Okay, so a film, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, on Christmas Day 1987, 19 million viewers.
And at number 3, we've already mentioned it, A Question of Sport, featuring Princess Anne, gets 19.05 million viewers.
I mean, I remember at the time when, you used to sit round with your family watching television about this time, because I was 13 at this time. And when A Question of Sport came on and your dad wanted to watch it, and you just had to sit there and kind of like torturous silence for half an hour.
Well, I'm going to surprise you, But I used to quite like A Question of Sport, and I used to watch it with my dad, and I used to be able to answer all the questions.
No.
Yeah.
Were you a sporty person?
No. But it was on. I think it was on a Wednesday night when my mum used to go to the club to play pool.
Right.
And me and Dad, the butcher's van would come round. We'd get 6 bags of crisps and watch A Question of Sport. Yeah.
Bit of father and son bonding time.
Father and son bonding time.
I was there just thinking, just want to watch Coronation.
Challenge Anna Karam.
Yeah. Okay, no surprise about the top two.
Yeah.
Number 2, Coronation Street, Christmas Day and Day After Boxing Day combined.
Yeah, and then-
26 million viewers.
And EastEnders at number 1, 1st and 4th of January episode, 28 million viewers. I mean, this is the peak of
Yes.
British TV viewing habits here.
Yeah.
I think towards the end of the 80s, it's about this time, the average British viewer is watching 28 hours of TV a week,
Wow.
which is the highest it ever reaches at this point. So,
And of course, only 4 channels to watch.
Only 4
I mean,
channels.
Sky TV was, sniffing around, ready to launch, wasn't it? I don't think Sky was around in.
no, not quite.
7.
You're not yet. No, it starts with the it's that 1990, I think, is when the Sky B thing takes off.
Yeah. So this is basically 4 channels to watch.
Yeah. And
That's
there are
your-
some notable events, TV events in the year. On the 3rd of January, Close Downs reappear on Yorkshire television when its experiment with 24-hour TV, which had begun the previous August, and was basically just them simulcasting this music video channel Music Box, but they stop it. However, on the 17th of August, Thames Television begins 24-hour broadcasting and becomes the first ITV region to begin transmitting all through the night on a permanent
Can you imagine
basis.
that?
Oh my God.
We've got a channel that you can watch all night.
All
A channel.
night. Yeah, all night it's on. Yeah.
Wow.
Because kids, at 12 o'clock, TV used to shut down. There was nothing at national anthem, and then
That was it.
a little white dot in the middle of the screen
Yeah.
and a tone which would basically for people who'd fallen asleep in front of the TV to wake them
Wake you
up,
up.
to switch the telly off. Yeah.
Okay, so on the 6th of January, Inspector Morse, based on the books by Colin Dexter, makes its debut on ITV with John Thor in the title role. The series will run until 2000 and generate spin-offs. So yeah, Inspector Morse was huge, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, he
Definitely.
was great.
Yeah.
John Thor, obviously, later spin-offs.
Yes.
Starring Lawrence Fox.
Oh dear. On the 5th of February, Princess Anne appears on the long-running sports quiz A Question of Sport on BBC
Your
One.
favourite.
A matter of weeks after team captain Emlyn Hughes famously mistook a picture of her on a horse for a jockey, John Reed. The episode gains a record audience of 19 million viewers. Now,
At least he didn't mistake her for the horse.
yes, which, let's face it, was a real possibility. Now, I remember watching this, and obviously it was a thrill, as we will discuss when we get to the meat of the episode. I'm not talking about Jeff Capes. But to see the royals like this was just incredible. And there's a big hoo-ha because at one point, Emlyn Hughes puts his arms around her, and because he's just scored a point, he's like, yeah, and then he's like, oh my God, and she's laughing, and it was like, oh my God, she's so normal.
Off with his head.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously he appears in this thing later. That's his price he has to pay. But it was an incredible moment.
So was this kind of a concerted effort to kind of make the royals more visible?
Approachable, I
Approachable.
think. Yeah, because obviously Diana at this point is stealing everybody's thunder.
Okay, so it's a kind of like a little counter-attack.
So
there.
let's see if we can, big up the other ones. Let's see how successful that was in a wee while, shall we?
Absolutely. Okay, so on the 21st of February, an apparently inebriated Oliver Reed appears on the ITV chat show Aspel and Company, where he stumbles and lurches around the set. First of many appearances by an inebriated Oliver
First
Reed.
of many. Of course, the one which it culminates in that appearance on The Word in about
Yes.
1990, where they deliberately get him absolutely arseholed.
Yeah.
They put a secret camera in his dressing room, leave like 3 bottles of scotch in there. He drinks one of them and then comes on and he's absolutely wankered, and it's so grotesque.
Now, you
It's
see,
horrible.
this is alcoholism as entertainment,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what happened in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, it was fun to see. I mean, he was much more fun. Who wanted to see him, you know, dissecting the characterisation of a role he'd played?
Exactly.
You much wanted to see him stumbling around, being funny, you know, being aggressive towards other guests.
Being proper Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's grim.
Oh, it's very voyeuristic.
Very
Voyeuristic.
well done. Very
you.
good, very good. On the 9th of March, it's the debut of the comedy sketch series French and Saunders, starring Dawn French and Jennifer Saunders, of course. Friends for the pod, hopefully one day.
Yeah, please come on the pod.
Please come on.
Okay, on the 8th of June, BBC Two show the moonlighting episode I Am Curious, Maddie, in which, after 2 years of romantic tension, Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd finally make love, following a huge argument.
And ruin the show forever. Did you watch Moonlighting?
No, I was aware of it, but I didn't. I think I might have watched a couple of episodes.
I loved it. I thought it was clever, it was funny, it was whip sharp. The chemistry and the tension between them was fantastic. And of course, it's just ruined after this point on.
So you ultimately, as a viewer, felt this tension and revelled in it.
And that's
enjoyed the sparring.
Absolutely, that's what the show was about. It's
right.
The taming of the shrew writ large.
Right.
You know, that kind of banter was just great. And then they just fuck it up by having them fuck at the end of the episode. Yeah.
What is there to do now? I see.
Yeah. On the 26th of September, it's the debut of the Saturday morning children's TV show Going Live on BBC One, presented by Philip Schofield and Sarah Green. That's obviously for Philip Schofield, not Sarah Green.
Yeah. Sarah Green. We love a bit of Sarah Green.
Dame Sarah.
She's having a little bit of a resurgence at the moment, isn't she?
She is.
Yeah.
I love Sarah Green.
Yeah, she's great. And she's on Ghost Watch, which is one of our previous episodes at one of our podcasts. Please go and listen to that.
And of course, that means because of that, Sarah Green is friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod, Sarah Green. Yeah. Okay, so on the 12th of October, the debut of Going for Gold on BBC One, a general knowledge quiz presented by Henry Kelly, in which contestants from 14 different European countries compete to become the series champion.
Should that be from 14 different countries compete at a disadvantage because they don't speak English to become the series champion? Or there's a disadvantage because they can't understand Henry Kelly's Irish accent. Yeah.
What is my name?
So what?
What is my name? Yes. I love Going for Gold.
It was great. Staple of daytime, wasn't it?
Back in the day when all the European countries were friendly and welcoming towards each other before we came this septic isle that we see before us.
On the 15th of October, during a weather forecast, BBC meteorologist Michael Fish reports, strap in, earlier on today, apparently, a woman rang the BBC and said she heard there was a hurricane on the way. Well, if you're watching, don't worry, there isn't. But having said that, actually, the weather will become very windy, but most of the strong winds will be down over Spain and across into France. Hours later, Britain is hit by the worst storm for 284 years. It's called the Great Storm of 1987. Yeah.
Dear.
It was fairly dramatic, wasn't it? London is hit by it. South East is hit by it.
I don't know. I was living in the Middle East at the time.
Do you want to do the next one?
On the 17th of November, the first episode of EastEnders to feature a gay kiss was aired on BBC One. Now, EastEnders is a British soap for our international viewers and listeners. The scenes see Colin Russell, played by Michael Cashman, kiss partner Barry Clark, played by Gary Hales, on the forehead.
Oh my God, he kissed his forehead. I'm gay, I've watched it.
Collective clutching of pearls. Okay, the episode attracts a record number of complaints from angry viewers.
Well,
imagine my surprise when I turned on my TV to see one man kissing another man on the forehead.
God. EastEnders breaking new ground again at the end of the month, at the end of the year, on the 31st of December, in an unusual move for a pre-recorded series. The chimes of Big Ben are integrated into an episode of EastEnders. Character Den Watts brings the television into the bar of the Queen Vic, and they watch the chimes in their entirety, and then the episode picks up again. I watched that. Did
Yeah,
you?
I do remember seeing that.
It was quite exciting, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes. But also, I mean, how far TV has come now. Obviously, they'd pre-recorded either side of that,
Yes.
the episode, and then they'd gone to kind of a live insert.
Yeah.
But just to think how TV in general has changed now about, if you watch the news, you jump from this person in this country to this person back to the studio and all that kind of thing. And even the soaps can produce full, live episodes. So the technology is really come leaps and bounds.
This is some guy in TV Centre in 1987 with a fag on the go, just waiting for the thing to change the feed. Yeah. Don't fuck it up, Bob. Don't fuck it up.
I've had to be behind the scenes for a live show before.
Have you?
A live recorded TV drama when I was a stage manager, and you're there and you can hear the TV centre coming through. Going live in 20. And because normally in your everyday job, if someone fucks it up, you can just shout cut and then reset it and go again. But this is just kind of like, and you can just feel your hands shake. It's like, don't shake.
God.
And you can see the actors waiting like there at the corner of their eye. And obviously you have to cue them like a second before you come to them. Otherwise, people are going to see them like that.
Yeah.
So you go and cue and cut. And you're just like that. Cue.
Yeah.
I didn't fuck it up.
And let's never forget the classic, How's Adam?
Oh, bless.
Which is, what was her actress name again?
Joe Joyner.
Bless. When what was it, EastEnders 40th episode?
Yeah, I
she
think
asked
that
another
was.
character, how's Adam, and saying, how's Ian?
Yeah.
And you could
you've
just
gotta
see her face.
Feel for
like,
her
oh,
in that moment.
God.
Yeah, I'm sure she probably wakes up in a cold sweat
I
every
bet
now
she
and
does.
again.
I bet she does.
But hey ho, I mean, that's what people look out for, to see it's actually live. Because
Yes.
otherwise, if you get a perfectly seamless episode from beginning to end, it's a great creative achievement.
Yeah, but you might as well just done it in the studio.
But yeah, all good. Bless Joe Joyner. We love her.
We love her.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was a bit of the TV landscape. Obviously now we have to go cross over to the music desk to find out what was in the top 20 pop pickers.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so the top 20. This is the top 20 of the official singles charts in the UK from the week commencing the 14th of June 1987, which is when our It's a Royal Knockout landed on TV. So skip past number 1, please. So are you confident that you're going to know a lot of these?
I think I do. I think I am, actually.
Yeah, me too. This was our era.
Yeah, ripe for the picking.
Yeah.
Number 20, It's Not Unusual, Tom Jones. Tom Jones having a real resurgence at this point, isn't he?
Right.
Yeah.
And he's going to be on the programme that we're going to watch.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
In a wet T-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, be still my beating heart.
Number 19. I can't believe that when we saw Tom Cruise dripping wet. You had
Tom
a bit
Jones.
Tom Jones. You had a little bit of a funny turn at that point.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
I had to pass you the smelling salts.
Tom Jones is... He's just very masculine.
Oh, you can have him. I'll give him to you. Okay, number 19. No Sleep Till Brooklyn, the Beastie Boys. See.
Don't know him.
Okay, let's just move on.
Number 18, Shattered Dreams, Johnny Hates Jazz. That one.
Number 17, It's Tricky, Run DMC. Fabulous.
Number 16, Get Your Hairspray Out, because it's White Snake with Is This Love?
That was a bit of dirge, wasn't it?
That's a bit of a dirge.
Yeah.
It's a big power ballady dirge there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Number 15, Wishing I Was Lucky, Wet, Wet, Wet.
They were wet, weren't they?
I kind of missed the whole wet, wet, wet.
I used to
wave.
fancy Marty, I can't lie,
Because I was living in the Middle East at the time.
Number 14 is When Smokey Sings, ABC. I hadn't realised this was so late, actually. I thought ABC were very much just of the early 80s, but here they are, still giving a jip in 1987.
Rightio. Number 13, Looking for a New Love, Jodie Watley.
Jodie Watley, of course, the only other woman on Live Aid with Bananarama.
Yeah.
Number 12, Goodbye Stranger, Pepsi and Shirley.
Now, something tells me you're probably a bit of a Pepsi and Shirley fan. Oh, really?
Well, but I didn't dislike them, but I just wasn't that into them. Bananarama were around at this time, do you know what I mean? They had all my all my gay votes they only had allowance for
right.
Zanars.
And was this around about the time when Siobhan left and Jackie?
Bit a year later,
Right.
Siobhan is going to leave. Yeah, at this point they've just signed a stock taking the Waterman.
Oh, okay. So then we're entering into the Saw era.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, not Saw as in chafing.
Yeah, but weird
SAW.
horror film.
Yeah. Okay, number 11, Jack Mix 2/3 by Mirage.
No, nothing. Victim of Love, Erasure, number 10.
Yeah.
Classic.
Very good. Number 9, You're the Voice by John Farnham.
Number 8 is a stone cold classic. I'm not having this any other way. It's Samantha Fox with Nothing's Gonna Stop Me Now. Now, do you remember we were fantasizing about the tunes we were going to have playing when we came on stage at the Royal Albert Hall?
Oh, yes.
To introduce us.
Yeah.
And I said, Samantha Fox, Nothing's Gonna Stop Me Now, and you just shut it down.
Yeah, we're not
shut
having
it
that.
down. It's great. The video
I don't even know it.
The video is a thing to behold. You need to watch it.
Just sing the first.
Nothing's gonna stop me now.
Okay, yeah, I do know it.
Yeah.
Would you play Samantha Fox, Nothing's Gonna Stop Me Now, above number 7, I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For by U2?
Yes.
Okay,
One fills me with joy, one doesn't.
I think our gays are getting more of an opinion of where we stand.
Where our musical tastes
morally
lie. Yes.
and ethically and culturally. Okay. Speaking of Bruce Willis, number 6, Under the Broadwalk.
Yeah, he's got a big music career at this point, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Now we've got Nothing's Gonna Stop Me Now by Samantha Fox at 8, but we've got Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now by Starship at number 5.
From the film
Mannequin.
That's on our list, isn't it?
It is. Oh,
yeah.
I mean, that's just riddled with everything wrong, isn't it?
Yeah.
riddled with it.
Number 4, Hold Me Now, Johnny Logan.
Eurovision winner. Yeah.
Yeah.
I Want Your Sex, David.
Oh, we've talked about this.
That's number 3, actually. Flashing his wedding ring. That means anything to me. I Want Your Sex, George Michael, number 3.
I mean, the signs were there, weren't they, with George?
Which signs?
George Boy, of him being a little bit ambidextrous.
What, if you write with both hands?
Yeah.
Incredible. Never knew that.
Number 2, I Want to Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me, Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Is number 1 going to be some absolute classic of the genre? Oh. No. In other words, no. Do you know what? The song that's number 1 absolutely fits the week this TV show was broadcast, because they kind of go hand. It's Star Trekking The Firm, which is one of those kind of spoof songs, like the Chicken song, like anything by Black Lace, that just got to number 1 in this weird time of British history when it was possible for this kind of stuff to get to number 1.
I loved it.
I loved it.
Yeah,
oh my
could do it.
God.
Say
Fingers
all the
on the
words.
starboard,
Yeah.
starboard bow. Loved it.
Yeah. Say all the words.
And the claymation animation video. Yeah, it's great.
It was just unusual, wasn't it? For a novelty song, actually, I think it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah,
but I mean,
it's naff.
would you place that above I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston?
I'd place it
Yes.
above Nothing's Gonna Stop Me Now from Samantha Fox.
I can't work like this anymore. I can't do it. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried.
Okay,
anyway,
get a grip. Okay, we've got to move on.
That was the charts.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the charts. Let's take a break.
Let's take a break. So, to the matter in hand, if we must. We watch this stuff so you don't have to, basically.
Buckle up. We will paste a link in our notes.
But please pour yourself a drink before you watch it. Take whatever drug of choice you feel you need to, but do something. Do not watch this stone cold sober. Would you like to give us a little bit of information about this abomination of a TV show, Dave?
I will do, but I will preface everything by saying this was a charity event, so it was all for good causes.
Yes.
So even though we knock it, you can't deny that actually people, vulnerable people and vulnerable animals did benefit from this.
Yes.
But that being said, okay, so the Grand Knockout Tournament, also known as It's a Royal Knockout, sorry, I've gone already.
Royal Knockers.
It's a Royal Knockers. Was a one-off charity event which took place on the 15th of June 1987. It was shown on British television and then the American TV network via USA Network. Okay, so it was staged at a lakeside lawn of the Alton Towers stately home in Staffordshire, and it followed the format of It's a Knockout, the British version of Jeux sans frontières. It's a slapstick TV game show. The show featured members of the British royal family alongside various sporting and showbiz celebs. The celebrity participants were drawn from the realms of music, sport, television, and comedy. So, that's the bones of it.
That's the bones of it. Should we have a look at the all-star cast? Because it is quite astonishing, the celebrities and famous people we have on this show.
Yeah.
And just to give a bit of extra context in this, like It'll Be All Right on the Night was in the top 10 of TV shows. So we still haven't got anywhere near reality TV or celebrity culture yet. So this was a massive thing to see celebrities, people you knew, doing things out of the ordinary. And perhaps obviously the ultimate in this is members of the royal family. So this is like a genuine breaking down, like Princess Anne appearing on A Question of Sport 4 months previously. This is all part of this pre-celebrity culture, how we viewed and interacted and reacted to celebrities. So on Prince Edward's team, we have people like Toyah Wilcox, Barry McGuigan, Tessa Sanderson, John Cleese, Christopher Reeve, Superman, Dame Kirita Kanawa, and Tessa Sanderson. There's a few names from Prince Edward's team.
Yes, lovely. So Prince Edward's team was supporting the Duke of Edinburgh Awards charity. And then we move on to Princess Anne, the Princess Royals team.
For Save the Children.
So on her team, we had Cliff Richard, Emlyn Hughes, Jenny Agutter, Kevin Kline, Hollywood star Kevin Kline.
I didn't spot him.
Eddie Grant, Bill Wyman from the Rolling Stones. He was from the Rolling Stones, wasn't
Yes, he was,
yes. And several others. Anthony Andrews, the famous actor. Tom Jones. Are you keeping it together? You got your tenor lady on?
Yes.
Yeah. And Sheena Easton.
Yeah. On Prince Andrew's team, and he's fighting for the World Wildlife Fund, we have, excuse me, Annika Rice, Gary Lineker, former James Bond George Lazenby, Michael Palin, Nigel Mansell, John fucking Travolta, Griff Rhys-Jones, Margot Kidder. Obviously, Margot Kidder and Chris Reeve are filming Superman 3 at Pinewood at the time, which is how they've been roped in. But what John Travolta was doing there, I've got no idea.
Yep, and on Team 4, which was the Duchess of York's team, more commonly known as Fergie, their charity was the International Year of Shelter for the Homeless. So that's great. So on Sarah's team was Meatloaf, Pamela Stevenson, Mel Smith, Jane Seymour, Krista Berg, Viv Richards, who was a famous cricketer, Michael Brandon, who was
Dempsey and Makepeace.
Yes, and John Mills,
old retired acting legend. So, it's just bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, absolutely. It's bizarre. It just runs the whole gamut.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
Yeah, you will know somebody in this show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the opening titles tell us everything we need to know about where this show is set, the kind of vibe it's trying for. It's medieval. It's the aristocracy and the plebs, basically. So the opening title sequences, there's that typical royal trumpet going on. There's a gloved hand turning a page over. You get the flag, obviously, Union Jack. You get World War II style music, then a very plummy voiceover.
Yeah.
Does point out, again, in one of the ways and one of the demonstrations of why Scotland and Wales hate England, that this TV show says England's Isle was green and pleasant.
Yes.
No mention of anybody else. This is basically this kind of medieval historical panacea, which a lot of the population of the UK like, this idea that everything was much better in the olden days when class insecurities and the class struggle was real, etc., etc. We have actual dukes, actual members of the aristocracy as the judges, which again just situates this in how comfortable Britain was in the class system at the time. Oh my God, these judges are dull, aren't they?
Oh my God, we've got the Duke of Westminster, we've got the Duke of Gloucester, got the Duke of Roxburgh, and the Duke of Algorn, all devoid of any personality whatsoever.
Yeah.
It was I just put pageantry and pomp.
It is. It's just our things we do best, ignoring the vast social inequalities and the terrible deferential shit that people have to do, etc., etc. Yeah. So this sets it up. This is what we're doing. We're in medieval history world this week, and here we go. We've got silly games, and then we get the first of our. There are so many.
Okay, when we watched this, I felt as though Lee might have slipped a little acid trip in my cup of tea / glass of wine that I had, because we get a succession of celebrities who are introduced as the king and queen of the realm and all their kind of subordinates and stuff, but it's just kind of like a roll call of British kind of celebrities, isn't it? Yeah. So we get Aled Jones, who's from The Snowman, Walking in the Air and all that kind of malarkey. He's the... What's he called?
The page boy, the herald. He reads
the herald,
looks like Bernadette Nolan or Princess Diana in 1981 in this, bless him.
And then we get Rowan Atkinson in his Blackadder persona.
Yes.
As the kind of the ruler of the realm.
Lord Knock.
Lord Knock.
Yes.
And Barbara Windsor.
Dave Babs.
Adore Barbara Windsor.
Yeah.
As his wife, as Lady Knock.
So this is the first of these utterly incongruous, bizarre pairings of people and groupings of people that this show. It's just like... And it only gets more bizarre, doesn't it?
So then we get Les Dawson, who I'm just going to say right now is probably the best thing.
Yeah. It really is. It really is, yeah.
In this whole thing.
Yeah.
Les Dawson, just being how Les Dawson is, just had all these jokes up his sleeve, improvised perfectly, and always had this kind of like tone of playing along with everything, but also
irreverence,
taking the piss out of everybody at the same time.
Paired with Sue Pollard, just for another little 80s double. Yeah. And Les is the overseer of a game, which is, what's it called, that game they keep coming back to?
Oh, it's called Asda Marathon.
The Asda Marathon. Because, there's a lot... The weird thing about
this... a lot of promotion in this as well. A lot of the games were sponsored by various companies, which anyone knows for the BBC these days.
Yeah.
The BBC needs to be seen as impartial, and they're not allowed to promote any products.
They were then. I'm surprised. I don't know how this got through. Maybe because it was an international show.
Maybe it was for charity as well.
It gives it a whole bit of a grotty feel, doesn't it?
Yeah. So there's the Asda Marathon. Then there's one sponsored by McDonald's, Canada Life Assurance, the Britannia Building Society.
Yeah, it's all
it's all a bit low rent.
Yeah,
isn't
it really is. And you're right, Les is. So we have 4 rounds of the game that he's overseeing, which is basically a pole across some water, and the celebs dressed as court jesters have to scale the greasy pole by going across it, wrapping their legs around it, pulling themselves over so they don't fall in. Yeah. Meanwhile, 2 celebrities are throwing big fake gammons at them, big rubber gammons and stuff. Yeah, just another standard day.
Can we just go back to Aled Jones very, very quickly before we move on, because I felt as though he had a ring of King Joffrey from Game of Thrones about him. It was literally like looking at Jack Gleeson.
God, he did. Yeah, he did. He absolutely did. Oh, that's quite horrifying. And Les, we keep going back to seeing, and Les is clearly getting more, not pissed off, but he's clearly getting over it, isn't he?
Yeah.
And so we go back to his game 4 times, and his commentaries are just legend, aren't they?
Yeah, they're great.
Legend.
It made me wonder that, because he was obviously watching everything unfold before him, all the games, and probably kind of seeing that this was not a bit shit, and not hugely entertaining. So he just, every time we went back to Les, he just kind of ramped up the comedy a little bit more, and he was the saving grace of this whole thing. I feel
he really was. He really was.
Yeah.
Should we address the elephant in the room?
Oh yeah, okay. Let's just get serious for a second.
Fairly big horrendous, because hey, it wouldn't be a piece of vintage light entertainment show without the presence of a sex offender somewhere, and Stuart Hall, the presenter.
So he's the presenter, isn't he? He kind of oversees all the games, gives the running commentary. He's famous because he presented It's a Knockout for real.
Yeah.
He's famous for his laugh. His infectious kind of personality and stuff. So he's very much present all the way through this programme.
Yes. And is a
sex offender,
convicted sex offender
against
children. Not a nice man at all.
No,
horrible. And there we are again. You look at often something from this time period, and lo and behold, there's a figure of a man who was just abusing his position and his power and just being absolutely horrendous. So, sorry if that triggers anybody. He is a presence in this. I suspect that the reason this is not a 2-hour version of the show is maybe someone has tried to edit the majority of his bits out.
I see.
Why you don't get games explained, the rules explained, stuff like this.
Probably.
So, but yeah, he's a deeply horrible man, and unfortunately, he presents this. So should we talk?
And then we have just to add, not about Stuart Hall, but we have Paul Daniels, the TV magician. He's kind of like the scorekeeper, isn't he?
Yes.
He kind of explains the scores all the way through.
Could you understand that
score? Incoherent. Scoring system that's nonsensical, that doesn't make sense at all.
No, I couldn't. I mean, we're not stupid. It was like, what the hell? What's he doing? He's just speaking random numbers. At one point, it was just like he was going to say, "Well, that means the red team have got 33,000 points." It was like, what is happening? Because the Royals can bring their jokers in, which means they get double the points, and it's just Okay,
should
we talk about the Royals?
Let's talk about the Royals.
Okay, so we have the organizer, Prince Edward. Prince Edward was always of a theatrical bent, wasn't he?
He had been in the Marines. He wanted to be a Marine.
Yeah, he quit the Marines just before this and was trying to get a job with the really useful company, and Lord Webber's company. Have you seen my Phantom Windy Pops going on?
See, this is the only tricky thing about this new setup, is that I can't reach over and burp you, which I normally do.
And he clearly loves it, doesn't he? He likes the frocks, he likes the costume. He's having a whale of a time when he's brought out. He's just really dull, isn't he? And he's clearly had a charisma bypass and is clearly trying far too hard, isn't he? It's just like...
Well, I mean... They could just swap any of the roles and say the same thing about them, really.
Yeah.
You know, talk about the other ones.
Well, then we've got Fergie. Fergie, to her credit, looks like she's having a good time.
She takes it on with aplomb, doesn't she?
She's very jolly hockey stick.
Yeah, she sees this for what it is. She just thinks, actually, you've got to inject a bit of personality into this and enthusiasm, otherwise it's going to sink to its knees.
Yeah. Then we have Prince Andrew, who...
all our international listeners would need no introduction.
Anyway, he doesn't come across very well at all. He gets a proper cob on at one point when it appears that something has happened, that he's been deprived of a point.
Yes, he kind of goes in, he contests the marking.
Yeah.
And safe to say, he has a little tantrum. It's very kind of, it's a really useful insight into what a royal person does when things don't go their way.
Yes, yeah.
He proper has a paddy, doesn't he?
He has a paddy. Yeah, he has a paddy.
Yeah.
And then at one point he gets the crowd on his side and he gives this really self-satisfied little smirk to himself as he's walking away. He just comes across as a really horrible man.
Yeah. Also
dull.
Dull as dishwater.
And then we have Princess Anne.
Yeah.
I mean...
Now, I've got quite a bit of time. I don't really have huge amounts of time for the royals.
No.
But I've got a lot of time for Princess Anne because she comes across as quite no-nonsense, cuts through the bullshit.
Yes.
And apparently works very hard for a royal standard. She was the hardest working.
Yeah.
I mean, how much hard work is it to be told what to do and where to go and be go and shake a few hands.
Yeah.
But hey, but she comes across as kind of like the most down to earth one.
Yes, yeah.
But
She's had,
it's boring as anything. It's like she's had a personality bypass.
she has. Clearly, there's been no media. There's no such thing as media training
No.
at this point. I was really struck by the first time we get to meet her and Stuart Hall's interviewing her. Yeah. She doesn't move.
No.
Her body is completely still. There's just no movement in her at all. And then later on, she's not quite in the swing of it still when she plays a joker. He says, "Why are you playing a joker?" And she just says, "Oh, well, because somebody told me over there I had to bring it in now." No attempt at humour. That's just it. No. None of them get their hands dirty.
No.
None of them are involved in the
I can imagine
games.
that was one of the stipulations.
Yeah.
And I suppose we should mention which members of the royals are notable by their absence or their refusal to take part.
Yeah. Well, the Queen thought it was a bad idea.
Yeah.
And apparently it was the royal household thought this was a bad idea.
The courtiers and everything advised against it.
Yeah. Charles is like, nah, future king, you're joking, aren't you? I think Diana may have been just newly mothered or was pregnant, maybe, which is why she doesn't
busy.
Do it. But busy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm washing my hair. I've got my appointment at John Frieda that day. Sorry, everybody.
But this is one of the criticisms levelled at this show, isn't it? How it was all centred around these four royals, but had, apart from Fergie to a certain extent, just had zero charisma about them.
Absolutely.
Zero personality.
Yeah.
And when you're surrounded by a huge group of people whose job it is to entertain and to elevate and to be a little bit heightened reality, which, all entertainers are, this is part of their job description, the contrast between them and these royals was the chasm was just huge. It's like whenever the royals were on screen or being interviewed, it's like all the air or all the energy that had been built up by all these celebrities and the presenter and everything, it just went.
Yeah.
It was like fucking vacuum. They just sucked all the air and excitement out of this show, didn't they?
They did. And I think, unless you were 14 years old like myself, that would have become very apparent that actually they're so dull. And does this lead to kind of the 90s and the growing disillusionment with the royals? Are they that dull? Are they that ordinary, boring? Why have we given them all these trappings of wealth and stuff? But they all come across just... We don't lift the veil by all means, but lift the veil onto something interesting and engaging, and that makes people feel warm towards you. Not
because also there's a live audience there, isn't there? It's kind of like set up as this big pageant with all these games, and eventually we get jousting and things like that. Yeah. So you've got that audience watching you. You must know that millions of people are going to watch this show, like you said. You just think maybe we should just get a little bit of media training. Otherwise, did they have a little huddle and a conversation thinking we need to, or are they just so self-entitled that they think that they will be interesting simply because of who they are?
Yeah. And I guess there's a bit of that, but also there's that whole thing about people who are a lot more naive about cameras in those days and behaving on camera. So media training is not a thing yet for anybody, hence why Sue Pollard has a career at this point, because you just have to be wacky, crazy, and you can get a career. So,
sorry, can I just say Sue Pollard is
legendary, obviously, but her career is based on her personality.
Oh yes, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I thought you were dissing Sue Pollard then, and I was ready to go into battle.
Never. Right. You're coming at me with some cannons.
Just as you like.
I quite enjoyed the fact there's absolutely no health and safety.
There's one point in one of the games where they're dressed up in these giant foam outfits with a very small peephole to kind of, as kings. And the aim of the game is to chase somebody, catch up with them, and rugby tackle them to the floor. And this poor woman, I don't know what personality it was, one of the sports people, gets rugby tackled to the floor and has to be carried off by her teammates.
It's dreadful, isn't it? You
Yeah.
just see it in the top corner. She's smacked to the ground.
And there's another one where it's kind of like, do you know Wipeout, the game Wipeout, where
Yeah.
the guys have to bounce off the red rubber balls
Yes. Yeah,
sequence
yeah.
and fall
Yeah.
in the water.
Yeah.
But on Wipeout, obviously, there's nothing below that. If you fall off these rubber red balls, you literally just splash in the water. They were doing this like stepping stone thing, and it was basically a concrete pool all the way around. I thought, we're one little slip away from someone losing all their teeth.
Absolutely.
It was
Absolutely.
hideous. There was
Yeah.
no... I mean, I don't know if the risk assessments were even a thing in 1987.
Clearly not. Clearly not. Because let's face it, that guy's going to get killed on the Late Late Breakfast show.
Yes,
this
that's
time. I think a year
correct.
later, maybe. But
Yeah.
so
So, yeah, I mean, it was dangerous,
Yeah.
as medieval
yes,
jousting sessions actually were. I was expecting to see someone get garroted by a pole at some point. So we go through all these sequence of games, don't we?
Yeah.
We've got Knock a Knight, which is kind of basically like blind Skittles knocking
on
down
a big
knights in shining
scale.
armour.
Yeah, which basically involves a team member just screaming at somebody blindfolded, going forward, 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 left, left, left,
Yeah.
left. Just dreadful.
Oh, it's just... Yeah, there was just a lot. I mean, we can't go into all of them because...
Some of them were genuinely funny to watch
Yeah.
because there is something funny, intrinsically funny about these outsized rubber outfits falling over, trying to get through. There's one where these big kings trying to get through this little gap. I laughed out loud, which is why you need a drink or drugs to watch this. But, you know, they were few and far between, those moments.
They
weren't
were. I mean, look, we didn't... I mean, I did say at one point to you, how long have we got left of this?
Yeah.
There was enough to kind of keep you entertained, but I think we were watching it as two 50-year-olds 40 years later, and we could see it for what it was.
Yes.
And it was entertaining that the Royals were so vacuous, and it was entertaining that we had this nostalgic tinge to sing, oh, it's Les Dawson, oh,
Yes.
it's Sue Pollard, and
Yeah.
what the fuck is John Travolta doing there, running down, you know, in this hideous kind of jester's outfit and stuff, and oh, Margot Kidder's just standing there saying nothing. So it was kind of entertaining to see it on that level.
Yes.
And I, like you say, if we both watched this when we were 13, 14 years old, it would have been stupendously entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the overarching view was that it was just a bit shit. It's a bit low rent.
It's really
you know,
low
for the
rent.
Royals
Yeah.
to be doing this.
Yeah.
If you want to, like you said, if you want to maintain this air of, you know, we're worth it kind of thing, we are sent from the divine to rule over you.
yes, if you want to maintain the mystery.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be doing fucking Royal It's a Knockout.
No, don't do it.
Because we can see you for exactly who you are. And it ain't pretty.
I haven't got much else to note apart from Tom Jones in leggings and Mr. Darcy shirt getting very wet in a game, which was obviously... And I quite fancied Jeff Capes.
Jeff Capes, yeah, he was kind of just like
He was
holding the
King's
scorecard.
guardian, wasn't he? Like, he was just like the
much to
King's
do.
champion, yeah.
What was it, the beard? And the height?
I think it was the beard, the height,
And the girth.
and the armour, and the girth.
Okay.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, there wasn't anybody who I just thought, ooh. No, there wasn't. Sorry, there wasn't. Yeah. Some of the combinations were just really, the pairings were really strange. You had John Travolta running around with Rodney from Only Fools and Horses, Nicholas Lyndhurst, Margot Kidder running around with Eddie Grant, which was just nuts. Who else was there? Jenny Agutter, obviously English Rose.
Yes.
With Walter Payton from the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, that was random. There's quite a few American sports stars, yeah.
Very strange. Gary Lineker and Fiona Fullerton. One of the funniest moments was when Gary Lineker... He was featured quite a lot, actually.
Yes,
Gary
he was,
Lineker.
yeah.
He was looking like a baby.
Yes.
Like, obviously, early 20s, just fresh-faced. And one of the funniest things was when he was in a giant foam thing and he got health and safety again, he got his outfit costume caught in this mechanism, this like turnstile mechanism.
Yeah.
Like, a few more turns, then
He'd lost his legs.
He would have been in the meat grinder.
Yeah.
So he had to take his outfit off.
No more footballing for Gary.
No, and then he had to take his foam outfit off, and he had these tights on, didn't he? Like these sheer nylon tights with a seam up the back.
Yeah.
You just saw him wandering off with them on.
I thought it was like Top Gun again.
Yeah, that was funny. So there were fun elements to this.
Yes, there were, absolutely. But it was a fever dream.
It was.
Yeah.
It was nuts. I felt as though I was on a trip.
Absolutely nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got any more points you want to bring up about this?
No, because I think our gazers might have lost the will at this point.
Yeah. Well, what would you give this out of 10?
I would have to give this 5 sheer black tights out of 10.
Right.
5, yeah, and that's being quite that was for the nostalgia value,
Right.
for the showing up of the royals as they really are, the lifting the veil on the royals really unsuccessfully. Yeah, that's about it really. What about you?
I'm going to give it 3.
3 what?
Rubber gammons out of 10. Although it was an interesting snapshot of pre-celebrity culture and the royals in a particular trajectory, and there were a couple of laugh out loud moments, it was just shit. It's just shit. It was interesting. It was fun. It was fun to watch it, and I'm pleased we watched it.
Yeah.
Very much a snapshot of a certain time and a certain place, isn't it?
Yeah. Never to be repeated.
Never to be repeated. Wonder why. Wonder why.
Shall we just talk very quickly about the... we'll put it on our socials.
Oh,
Prince
press
Edward's
conference.
reaction to the press conference.
So Edward has invited all the press, obviously. He's very proud of this. And but he makes the stupid mistake of putting all the press in this tent all day. It's a hot day. Doesn't give them any food or drink. So by the time it comes to the thing finished, they've been in there for like at least 6 hours. I think everybody's very fucking grumpy. The press, the old Fleet Street press that you don't want to piss off. And there's a great press conference of him coming in, and he says something like, "So what did you all think of it?" And everyone's just like that. Tumbleweed. And he gets really arsey again. It shows this kind of entitlement. He goes, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
If people have worked hard and all this stuff, gets a bit petulant and legs it off the press conference, storms it, and it's just like we'll try and find it and put it in the show notes as well. But it just kind of speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And he's still really proud of what he's done. You know. Edward.
Raised 1.5 million for charity.
It did, but I think it only did about 10 grand in this country.
Really?
It was huge. I think it was watched by like 800 million people around the world. You know, it was a big thing. But hey ho. Anyway,
okay, let's leave It's the Royal Knockout.
Yes, let's do that.
Well and truly.
Please.
In the bin of history.
Absolutely. In the bin of medieval flicking yourself off about history. And before we decide where the Telly TARDIS is taking us to next time, just have a little like, subscribe and follow on our socials at Podcast Gaze, please. You can email us it at theproblematicgaze@gmail.com. Please do.
Yes, please do. Please, and just to remind you that we are an independent podcast. We do everything ourselves.
Yes, we do.
We don't have a big conglomerate behind us to promote us. So if anything you can do to spread the word, please do. Yes, that's our little calling, isn't it?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So tell us what we're going to be talking about next week.
Next week, we are taking the Telly TARDIS into the 21st century in a slightly different show, but we're going to be looking at the phenomena that was America's Next Top Model. Yeah, and the show started in 2003.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. Is that what she says?
Yeah. We're actually going to watch, because there's a lot of seasons. There is a couple of compilations on YouTube which we will link to.
Yes, we will.
Kind of
we'll put it in our Gazer homework section.
Yes, most jaw-dropping moments,
Yeah.
and it'll be quite fun to discuss because I was a big fan.
I've dipped in and out. I haven't seen any. I wouldn't know any kind of whole series or anything.
Right.
Just the little bits that I've seen. It's just looking at it. So you know, when did it start? 2003.
2003.
So that's 23 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Same year as What Not to Wear, which
Feels like yesterday, doesn't it?
Yeah. So until then,
Yes, until
gazers.
then, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
Yes, indeed. Right, I'm off to don a giant rubber suit of a king and try and squeeze myself between two bits of wall. What are you doing?
I'm going to try and jump over a few pebbles in the water with a rose between my teeth and hand it to Tessa Sanderson.
Oh, not Annika Rice.
No, Tessa's mine.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I thought you were sliding down a greasy pole. There we go. Until next time, gazers.
Till next time.
Au reservoir.
Au reservoir.